So you want the entire story of Half-Life 1 and 2, from a lab accident all the way to gaming's most legendary to be continued in less than 10 minutes? Alright, well, whether you've never heard of a headcrab before, or you're a longtime fan who just needs a quick refresher before the inevitable Half-Life 3, listen up, cause we're hitting every major plot point so you're ready for whatever comes next. This is one of gaming's greatest stories, so let's microwave it.
My God, what are you doing?
Our story kicks off on May 16th in the early 2000s at the Black Mesa Research Facility. You are Gordon Freeman, a 27-year-old theoretical physicist and MIT grad who's late for a very important experiment.
Looks like you're running late.
And after squeezing into his hazardous environment suit, or HEV suit for short, he heads to the anti-mass spectrometer. His job is disarmingly simple. Push a weird, glowing, extremely unstable alien crystal into a giant particle beam. And naturally, everything that could go wrong does. The experiment causes a resonance cascade, which is basically science talk for we ripped a giant hole in reality. This hole opens a direct portal to an alien world called Zen, and suddenly Black Mesa has a serious pest control problem. Aliens are everywhere, the facility is crumbling, and Gordon Freeman, the guy who was probably worried about his 401k 5 minutes ago, has to become a one-man crowbar-wielding army just to survive. But while the aliens are reaping havoc in the facility, the US government initiates a cover-up, sending in a special military unit called the HECU. Their brilliant plan is to fix the alien invasion by killing everything that moves, aliens and scientists alike. So Gordon is now fighting a war on two fronts. He learns from the few remaining non-dead scientists that the only way to stop this interdimensional disaster is to reach the Lambda complex on the other side of the facility and try to close the rift from there. And after fighting through armies of soldiers, assassins, and a zoo of alien horrors, Gordon launches a satellite, and it doesn't work. The Lambda team tells him a giant creature on the Zen side is basically holding the door open. The only option left is for Gordon to go to Zen and personally file a complaint. So Gordon teleports to the alien border world, a truly bizarre collection of floating islands and angry wildlife. He fights his way to the big boss, the Nihilanth, a massive psychic fetus looking thing, and after a huge fight, blows it up and the invasion is over. But just as Gordon thinks he's finished the job, time freezes, and a creepy man in a suit known only as the G-Man, who's been lurking in the background this whole time, finally introduces himself, and he congratulates Gordon and gives him a job offer that he can't refuse. Either work for the G-Man's mysterious employers, or be left on an exploding alien world with no ride home. And before Gordon can even respawn, he's put into stasis, a deep sleep outside of time, waiting for his next scheduled apocalypse. While Gordon is taking the world's longest nap, the planet he just saved gets completely screwed. The resonance cascade was basically a dinner bell for a much bigger, nastier threat, the Combine. Think of them as a galactic empire of cosmic bullies who go from world to world, conquering them and stripping them from their resources. They saw Earth and immediately swooped in. And what came next is called the 7-Hour War, which is a very generous term for what was actually an instant surrender. Earth's combined military forces lasted about as long as a carton of milk that you left out on the counter during your sleep-eating cereal binge. Facing total extinction, the former head of Black Mesa, Dr. Wallace Breen, negotiated Earth's surrender. The Combine rewarded him for his spinelessness by making him the puppet dictator of their new territory. And for the next 20 years, humanity lives under the thumb of a brutal regime. The Combine plants their headquarters, the Citadel, in a European city now just called City 17. They start draining the oceans, shut down human reproduction with a special field, and crush any and all resistance. Humanity is now basically a broken, endangered species. But a tiny resistance led by Gordon's old Black Mesa buddies is still hiding in the shadows. And after 2 decades, they're about to get their crowbar-wielding messiah back. The G-Man yanks Gordon Freeman out of stasis and plops him onto a train arriving in City 17. Unarmed and confused, Gordon steps out into a world he doesn't even recognize. He's almost immediately arrested, but is saved by Barty Calhoun, the old Black Mesa security guard who still owes him a beer.
About that beer I owed you.
Barney gets him to an underground railroad where Gordon meets Alex Vance, the daughter of his old friend Dr. Eli Vance. Alex, a key figure in the Resistance, leads Gordon to a hidden lab ran by another old pal, Dr. Isaac Kleiner. Then their plan to teleport Gordon to the main Resistance base, Black Mesa East, goes sideways, forcing Gordon to take the scenic route through the city's toxic canal systems. And after walking through the poop water, he finally meets up with Eli and Alex at Black Mesa East, just in time for the base to be ambushed by the Combine. Eli is captured and hauled off to Nova Prospect, a high-security prison. Gordon and Alex get separated, and Gordon has to take a detour through the zombie-infested town of Ravenholm. He eventually reaches the coast, meets more Resistance fighters, and leads an assault on Nova Prospect by becoming the king of giant alien antlions. Once Gordon makes it to Nova Prospect, he finds Alex, and they discover that not only Eli is there, but another scientist, Judith Mossman, and Gordon discovers that she has been a Combine informant the whole time. The raid on Nova Prospect is the spark that lights the bonfire of a full-blown rebellion across City 17. The citizens rise up and Gordon becomes their leader. He and Alex fight their way back to the city and lead the charge on the Citadel itself. Inside, they corner Administrator Breen as he tries to flee to the Combine home world. They successfully blow up the Citadel's main reactor, and Breen is presumably vaporized in the process. But as the reactor explodes, the G-Man shows up again to freeze time, because of course he does. He says he's pleased with Gordon's work. He mentions he's received interesting offers for Gordon's services, and shoves him right back into stasis, leaving Alex to die in the explosion. What a guy. This time, however, the G-Man gets interrupted. A group of Vortigaunts, those telepathic aliens from Zen who are now your allies, show up and tell G-Man to buzz off. The Vortigaunts rescue both Gordon and Alex, and drop them at the base of the now collapsing Citadel. Reunited with Alex and her giant pet robot, Dog, they learn the Citadel's core is about to supernova, taking City 17 with it. Their new mission is simple: get out. But first, they have to go back into the exploding Death Tower to stabilize the core, just long enough for everyone else to evacuate. And inside, Alex finds out the Combine are intentionally speeding up the meltdown. They're trying to use the blast to send a distress signal to the Combine overworld. And then Alex gets a copy of the message before they bail. This starts a frantic race through the war-torn city as they help Barney and the Resistance evacuate the last citizens onto trains. Gordon and Alex catch the very last train out, escaping just as the Citadel erupts and sends the message to the Combine overworld. The shockwave overtakes their train and everything goes black. Gordon and Alex wake up in a wrecked train car in the wilderness outside of the smoldering crater that was City 17. To make matters worse, a massive super portal is forming in the sky above the ruins. The Combine are calling in their cavalry, and that data packet Alex stole contains the code to shut it down. But they have to get it to a secret Resistance base called White Forest, hidden deep in the mountains. Their journey is a nightmare. Alex is almost killed by a new enemy, the Hunter, and is only saved by a Vortigaunt's mystical alien CPR. And while the Vortigaunts are busy with their healing ritual, the G-Man seizes the opportunity to have a private chat with Gordon. He reveals that he was the one who rescued Alex from Black Mesa as a baby. He hints that she has cosmic importance, and tells Gordon to get her to White Forest. He then whispers a message to give to Alex that says,
"Prepare for unforeseen consequences."
And after Alex recovers, they finally make it to White Forest Base. And there, they reunite with Eli Vance and Dr. Kleiner, who are prepping a rocket that can use Alex's data to close the super portal. Gordon's job is to defend the base from a massive Combine attack while the rocket gets ready. And the launch is a success. The portal collapses, cutting off the Combine forces on Earth and dealing a crippling blow to the invaders. But the celebration lasts about 5 seconds. Back in the hangar, as they prepare to leave, 2 Combine advisors, the slug-like masterminds of the Empire, ambush them. They pin Gordon and Alex down with psychic powers, and in a horrific final moment, one of them kills Eli Vance right in front of them. As Alex cries over her father's body, the screen cuts to black. The game just ends on the single most infamous cliffhanger in video game history. For over a decade, that's where we were left. From a science experiment gone sideways to a full-blown rebellion against a galactic empire. And the biggest questions are still unanswered. So what do you think happens next? Let me know your wildest theories in the comments below. Also, go check out my Half-Life videos. I recently just played them for the first time and I have my initial reactions right here.